What is up, everybody? We're back for another day of the KSL. We're finally getting the tail end of this tournament.
We are in the round of 8. We have 5 days total, including today left.
I thought that this tournament was only round of 16 till the last round of 16 day, and we closed it out, but I was wrong.
You know, we'd have to change the format to round robin, and then just the guy with the best record, we're like, you're the champion.
Yeah.
Last day we figured it out. Actually, we know it on the second last day. It's really
we got to play all the games, guys.
Yeah.
So it's good to be back in Korea. The last thing we're really doing this year is KSL. And I got to say, it's good to be back doing some StarCraft.
Of course.
After being gone for this long.
I just love StarCraft, it turns out.
Yeah.
And I'm always happy to do it. And 'tis the season to be jolly.
That's right. By the way, speaking of seasons, they've been playing Christmas music out here in Korea before American Thanksgiving even started.
Damn them for not recognizing the order of things.
I'm just going to say it's a lot of Christmas music that you're getting right away.
A lot.
Anyways, today is going to be great. We have, I would say, one match that should be very close, very hard for us to call. That's a TVT. And then we have another matchup which, unless we are way off base, should be a one-sided game.
Yeah, it should be.
One-sided series, I should say.
I mean, I'm very excited for that first one as well, though, just to see what Leta's brain can cook up for it, because it's like, it's such a David versus Goliath match.
Right, yeah.
Or, yeah, it's pretty crazy. We'll talk more about that as we get into it, of course. We're in that round of 8 part of the
Goliath
tournament.
versus David's cousin that didn't know how to use a slingshot.
It's like Goliath versus Sunken match. Have you ever seen a Goliath try to kill a Sunken colony? It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
So here's what we've got remaining now. Round of 8 here. It's going to be best of 5. So we get to the semifinals, which is, of course, going to be just next week. It's going to be best of 7s, and our finals is the best of 7 as well. Traditionally in StarCraft 1, it's a best of 5, but we've kind of stepped it up here. We want to get some more games out there.
We're not screwing around, guys.
We don't mess around, guys.
We're going to figure out who's better, especially this season where the loser chooses the map. We're really going to know who's better.
Just because this is a computer game tournament doesn't mean we're not super serial, okay?
Yeah.
Just remember that. By the way, join us on Facebook. You can keep up to date with the tournament over there. This is exclusively on Twitch. And if you are one of the people who is in the audience, you can make a sign. I believe they have the materials at the front desk. And if your sign is badass and cool, I don't know who decides it, but somebody here decides that you get a prize. It could be either a keyboard or a headset. You want to do that.
I would love to be able to decide for the signs. I think they should give us that right. We watch the video, and then when they come up, we can name it.
Yeah?
I think that would be awesome. I would plant people here with signs that I made.
Mysteriously, these keyboards keep popping up on eBay every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have a stack of them on the back of my stream
laughing.
in my house.
He's like, that money doesn't even go to the tax man, you know. That's my black market income. I for selling the prizes that fans deserve to win, but you just instead stole. Okay, so here's what the round of 8 looks like now. Today we're doing Rain versus Leta, then Mine versus Sharp. We've also got Larva versus Sulky and Last versus Ware. Larva versus Sulky, another match I'm very curious about seeing. I really don't know who comes out on top. I will do what I've done every time Sulky's playing and say Sulky's supposed to win, and then I will be proven wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you, I would not mind seeing Larva advance, but we'll talk more about that tomorrow, as that is the day 2 of round of 8. Right now, though, Rain versus Leta and Mind versus Sharp. It's just exciting. Like, can Rain win another championship? He looks like he's already booked his ticket to the round of 4, but we will see about that. Don't want to call the eggs before they're hatched.
Yes,
especially when they're
all in one basket as well, right? Is that part of the metaphor too?
You tell me. You're from Kansas, Tasis.
Yeah. Well, we don't. It's mostly cows and wheat out there, Tosis. It's
cows don't lay eggs, Tasis.
퍼펙트 승리를 거두는 정윤정 선수 왕좌에 올라가 있다는 것을 경기로 보여주는 것 같습니다.
8강은 이제 당연히 진출해야 된다고 생각을 해가지고 그냥 무덤덤한 것 같아요. D조가 조금 저는 쉽다고 생각을 항상 해가지고 딱히 대처 없이 그냥 기본기로 해도 자신 있어서 이기도록 하겠습니다. 8강까지 힘들게 올라왔는데 하필 저랑 하게 되어서 다음 시즌을 노리셔야 될 것 같아요.
2011년도 이후에 7년 만에 8강 진출에 성공하고 있는 이랑 걸보이 신상무
아버지께서 4강 가면 보약 사주신다고 했어요. 네, 꼭 보약 받고 싶어요. 그래서 꼭 열심히 준비해서 좋은 경기 보여드릴 수 있도록 하겠습니다. 저도 8강에 올라갔는데 뭐 잘 준비하면 이길 수 있지 않을까요? 그래도 그런 생각으로 정윤종 선수를 집요하게 파고들어서 꼭 이길 수 있도록 하겠습니다. 정윤종 안 통해.
Just real quick thing we want to clarify there, because that wasn't exactly translated to perfection. The restorative that he's talking about, that's like a ginseng mix you can get in Korea, and you consume it every day for like a month or something. It's supposed to clean out your system. So that's what they were talking about, in case you guys are wondering.
Yeah.
If they just have Phoenix Downs here in Korea, nowhere else, or something like that.
It's funny, he said, well, as a similar round of 8 qualifier, don't I have a chance to win? I'm going to try to keep that mindset. He's like, and harass him to death. And he says, ain't gonna work. I agree with that part at least, Leta. I don't know if you're going to be able to harass Rain to death. This is the most solid Protoss player in the world.
Yeah, no, he's for sure the guy that's got Protoss mapped out the most. It's really exciting to have Leta here in a round of 8. I do love when we have players that we don't expect to have get this far. And
Absolutely.
I love to see what they're going to try. I mean, I think there is a gap in skill overall here, but what's important is, can you win in a best of 5?
Yes, can you?
We don't make them play 100 games. We don't make them play 1. We have enough to try to get an idea out here. Why are you laughing at me?
No, you're right. We don't make him play 100 games nor 1.
Yeah, we don't make them play 57 or 35 or any of the other numbers.
Yeah.
It's just 5 or
There's
7 or
infinite
3.
numbers we could do this with, actually.
Yes.
The only one, 5, is the only one we can't do it.
Yeah. So Leta's going to come out here. This player is most well known for the best Wraith usage ever, but that has more utility in a TVZ or a TVT. TVP, I mean, the Wraith is basically used to act as a deterrent for shuttles in a lot of ways. So I don't know what Leta's got in store for us here. In fact, just in general, historically, when I think about Leta, I don't really think about him in this matchup. No, you know, when you look back at his games, that's not where he's made his mark, at least on me, but I think that's probably true for most of the people who have been following StarCraft for a long time.
You know, he mentioned that he's going to try to harass Rain to death. I wonder if that's literal. I think it probably is. I think that today, out of Leta, what we can expect are things like 2 factories, proxy barracks, maybe drop ship play, that type of thing, maybe 2 base timings. I think we are not going to see Leta take a 3rd base today. Maybe one time, maybe. But, like, when you take a 3rd base, you're saying, okay, we're maxing out. And if you're going to play that game with Rain, I mean, you literally have to be Flash to do that, okay?
So one thing I'm wondering about, I normally say this about the Protoss at a PvT, is I'm curious to see what the Protoss may or may not do. I'm actually really a lot more interested in what Leta's going to do this time around, what the Terran's going to be, because I feel like for Rain, he already knows that what he has to do is just follow the ebb and flow of the build that Leta has, and he will outmaneuver him and come out on top the longer the game goes on. I thought we were going to have a different map to start this off, but this is the map that was elected here to go first.
It was actually a random drawing.
Yes.
And Leta was allowed to do the drawing. And because he got a pretty crappy draw for the round of 8, I guess he was like, you know what? Well, let's just keep playing Heartbreak Ridge forever for the rest of time.
Yeah. Well, you know, I actually do enjoy casting this map, so I'll take it. But yeah, we are once again going to start out on Heartbreak Ridge. This is a map where you can do a lot of different types of rushes if you want, whether you're the Terran or the Protoss. And of course, you got to be careful at your natural. There is a high ground area that is easily accessible to the enemy. So a lot could go on to start this off. In this season of the KSL, the winner does pick the winner's map, or the loser picks the next map. So yeah, I just want to throw that out there. Anyways, we're ready to start this game. This is game 1 in this best of 5, Rain versus Leta. Let's go. Okay, so we've got Rain in the center left, and we have Leta in the center right. One-on-one map.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yes. We're right. We have them right where we want them, Artosis.
That's right. Tell your friends, KSL round of 8. This is some damn exciting games tonight, no doubt. What will Leta try to pull off? And then, of course, we have that sick TVT between 2 of the top 4 Terrans on Earth, which is going to be awesome.
So that's a guess, extraordinarily early probe to send out. And, yeah, you nailed it, Artosis. I think he's going to come in there and try to steal the gas away here.
Well, as soon as you steal the gas, you say, oh, you're not even going to be able to two-fact me. It's like, it screws the build so much. Now, we'll see what Leta does against that. There are ways to counter this play. But, I mean, with the speed with which he sent this out, he'll see it. Now, do you cancel an SCV and take your gas instantly? Because you know why this is here.
Yeah, let's see what he does. Okay. He takes the gas right away. Now, this does mean the barracks is going to be a little bit later. The build is kind of...
should stop making that gas now. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Like, don't finish
It's like he finishes it and starts mining with 3 SCVs. I'm like, oh my god, what is he doing? There's no way.
Rates cost a lot of gas, Tasteless. Damn, you don't even know.
He's starting early.
You don't even know Leta's TVP build order.
Oh my god, SCV.
You cannot be losing SCVs.
Oh, it's getting repaired.
Double repair.
I'll tell you what, I'll take this trade here with this one probe, 3 SCVs running around out here. Barracks only just now started.
I'd like to see the exact math on it, because obviously you're losing a lot of mining time as Protoss, but he is causing a lot of lost mining time from Leta. By the way, just the fact that he is walling in is kind of funny in and of itself.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good point, actually, for the wall in here.
Yeah, all right, because here's the thing. If you wall in, sometimes you wall in to hide things like the fact that you're going two-fact. Once upon a time you needed it. Nowadays you don't.
Yeah.
Leta has good enough micro. I do not believe for a second that he needs it against, Zealot rushes. I really don't think that that's the case.
Okay, I just got to point this out. This has been some of the most damage we've seen done with one probe.
Yeah,
like in KSL. In ASL as well. I mean, the probe can do a lot of damage, and if you have 2 players of vastly different skills, you'll see the probe can really abuse a Terran. The number of SCVs that have had to stop mining, rotate in and out, the gas being taken early, I actually think that Rain is already leagues ahead of Leta, just the way this thing's panning out. Also, the probe hasn't been driven out because the barracks was so late, so you can continue to monitor exactly how many SCVs are mining on the refinery. So, I mean, this kind of...
That is nice.
Sucks.
We'll see how much longer he can keep this probe alive. It looks like he blocked the run behind the mineral patches, so this should be picked off pretty quickly. But he has a Zealot on the way that won't do much against a wall, that's for sure. Oh, God, yeah, no, there's those patches, too. So the longer he keeps the probe alive, I mean, it's definitely a good thing. Let's see if Leta goes back on gas, though, now.
I was wondering if he was going to try to pop a pylon on top of the, where the add-on would be for the factory. I don't know if that's still viable at all, but with one...
I don't think it's that good anymore.
Is it not? Okay. Maybe if you had a Dragoon come in there a little bit faster, where it's like you can maybe... Because if you only have one Marine, maybe then you can use the probe to try to run under the factory if he tries to lift it.
It is flat ground here, so you could go onto the high ground and harass like that, I guess. Slightly annoying here. Of course, we see Leta is actually going for a one-base starport. Now, this is another build that is very, very old. Not something that we are used to seeing. Now, with the Dragoon already here, this is annoying because he just got his add-on as that Vulture just popped out.
Yeah, and because there's only one Marine out here, there's not enough to come out here and try to drive this back. The tank is, of course, delayed because the Vulture was made first and foremost. So Rain is, like, really beginning to add up a lead here.
Man, even that Marine popping out and taking 2 hits from the Dragoon, like, all these things do add up. Oh, God, only 1 hit left on that Vulture now.
I mean, that might get maybe 1 probe or something before it's killed. Oh!
Wow.
Okay. Well, it gets worse. Oh, he bugged out the Dragoon for a second.
I guess the one thing he should be... Yeah, he really did bug it out well. Oh! That was really well done. Look at that.
You gotta spam stop on the Dragoon if it does that.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, right? He's going for dropship, but what is he getting upgrade-wise? I wonder. You know, he's lost his first Vulture. He has his first tank. There's going to be a dropship on the way.
Oh, there's a Mickey Mouse face in the middle of the map. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it.
There's a Mickey Mouse face inside the...
No way.
Yeah. Who's back there? I'll try to point it out again later. Yeah, I was like, oh my God.
Dude, this is so annoying.
He's everywhere.
If you play like this, you actually need to get siege.
Yeah.
And if you're going quick drops, you don't want to get siege.
Dude, he's going to lose the depot.
Yeah, this is terrible. Oh my gosh.
Now he can try to pounce on the tank. Okay, I got to say, Leta is not a bad player, but Rain is a phenomenal player to start things off.
We got to point out his micro has been very good, Leta's has. Absolutely. Yeah. But, you know, there's a reason why you don't see things like 1 fact starport on one base, and especially on a flat map like this. Like, look at how Rain is just manhandling right now. He is just stacking damage up. Let's see what these vultures can do, though.
Yeah, now this, I think that Rain might know this is coming just due to the lack of anything else that he's seen.
There's
over
no
here.
siege yet. What do you think he's doing?
Yeah. And so these
Rain's like, I don't know. There's nothing in my main.
I mean, this is definitely something, right? I mean, this is some damage taking out these probes.
This is serious.
I want to see how many more he can actually get, though.
Dude. Oh, miss micro, miss micro. Ah! Like, the thing is, if you kill half the probes, I mean, maybe you're still in this game, but he missed microed a couple times there. That was really hard micro spots. Like, getting that vulture to go through that mineral patch is actually, it's basically harder than other esports, is just to do that one move, okay? And, you know, he stalled out. He had a shot that went off on a goon and things. He actually did some really decent damage here. If his SCV production kept up at home, he hasn't really lost a lot of SCVs.
But, you know, here's the thing, man.
Yeah, what's the thing?
There's 2 nexuses. He can keep making probes. He's not sending more Dragoons out. Now, this drop up here on the high ground, though.
Yeah.
I don't know where. Is that his only observer? That one that's going across the map? Oh, well, this is kind of awkward because there's nothing to hit here.
Gosh. Yeah, but
I would.
I mean, he could wait. He could be tricky. I love that Rain didn't send anything back, though. That's just brilliant.
Yeah. Wow, this is like what Slayer's Boxer did.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Look at this. Probes
Rain
are going down.
Really good targeting. Now, the question is it worth losing 2 tanks over this?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so because he's not going to be broken back
especially when you count, like, how many probes he killed
There's
the first
4
time.
probes there. There's,
Oh,
what
my
is that?
God. That's 10 probes.
10 probes.
So he has about 15 probes right now, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. Maybe plus 1 or 2 more there.
That's terrible economy. Like, he has really butchered the economy of Rain at this point.
Well, this is what's interesting about when you see a Protoss put pressure on like that. I mean, 1 or 2 vultures getting dropped in the main can do so much damage. And the follow-up with the tanks there, I like the idea that he wanted to try to hit the probes in the natural, but probably a smarter move there by Rain, already realizing, well, this is exactly what he wants, is for me to be spread too thin.
Okay, look at that SCV count. Okay, and the fact that he already has his starport out.
Yeah.
And he already has an armory that's spinning, we just showed.
He also, his starport's making again. Is he going to get a second dropship and try to do some kind of weird drop up in the natural?
I mean, he pretty much saw what was over there. I would think a Wraith, but he doesn't really need a Wraith right now. He should know.
Oh, he does have a Wraith. Okay.
Okay, I think that that's totally fine, just as a, you know, you get scared. Maybe he's going to do something crazy like a Reaver. I mean, I guess it's not that crazy. He's going to do something normal like a Reaver. But the fact that Leta's already getting +1, and he got Rain down to so few probes that you look at this expansion timing for Leta, and it is more than quick enough, okay? If he just tries to nail a 2-1 timing from here, I think he can kill Rain.
I think you're right. If Protoss takes too much damage early on, like at this phase of the game, it's unlikely that you're going to break the Terran, especially with what Rain has set up. Rain went for a little bit of a more old-school approach, post-rush, which was just to get a few more gateways, get observers and Dragoons. And ideally, it would be to handle every other possible drop and attack here. So it's a much more passive way to play the game. Unlike the more modern style we see 2017, 2018, where people keep making shuttles and reavers.
And it's still a great way to play.
Yeah, it's not bad. I definitely don't want to mislead people and make them think that it's wrong to do that. But when you play this approach, you're basically done doing damage to the Terran for a while. You know? You're not going to get in there and kill a bunch of SCVs. Terran could stay on 2 bases, and like you were saying, +2 attack, +1 timing. Build up here is actually going to be a very doable thing.
And let me add something to what you just said there.
Yeah,
the
please.
build Rain has done, where you go expansion with some goons into 3-gate observer. This build is based off of safety. You're playing safely. You don't want to take damage.
Yeah.
You have no counter damage potential. If you go Reaver, that's counter damage potential. Yeah, you're more likely to take damage from an early attack, but you're also in a situation where you can actually go over, mix it up with your opponent, see who's going to be able to come out on top, right? Get some SCVs and things. But doing a safety build and then taking a bunch of damage, that's brutal. So now Rain's like, well, I guess I make a 3rd Nexus. I guess that's what I do.
Yeah, this is you'll see a lot of Protosses lose after taking damage like this because it's really the game has been given to the Terran as far as how it's going to be controlled here. So there is this one observer over here to monitor and see when exactly additional factories are going to be thrown down here, what the upgrade pacing is here as well. But yeah, I mean, I think Leta's got a shot. The question is Leta mechanically comparable in skill to Rain in this kind of situation. Because Rain, one thing about him is that he will not miss a single probe that he's making here. He will not miss a single Dragoon. He will not forget a single pylon. And I think Leta is a great player, but someone like Rain is basically known for having a fast track towards getting maxed out.
It's quite true, and he's even added another gateway at home, which kind of points towards what he's doing. I mean, I think the third command center is at a really nice time for Leta.
Yeah.
Did he get his science facility? I actually did not notice. I assume he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah,
there it is. So, I mean, he's actually on course right now. Leta's doing a very good job, and he doesn't have to macro out perfectly. You don't have to macro like Flash here. You already did a bunch of damage, so everything about what Rain's doing is set back a little bit. And look at this, he's going to continue.
Yeah, he just drops these 2 Vultures in here. And of course, 2 Vultures can just one-shot a probe, so I mean, the amount of damage you can get off as long as the 2 Vultures are both alive, it's a lot.
That was good. That was good. That was some damaged Vultures and everything, too. Like, I mean, he's getting real value. I'm getting chills right now watching this. I'm, like, really impressed by what Leta's been able to pull off this game.
Okay, we have the initial push coming out here, and I think this is looking pretty good here for Leta. I mean, he should be in good shape. I love the fact that he's going to use the dropship and pair it with this army, because he can then try to drop inside the main. I don't believe Leta has any cannons anywhere, right? So there has to be some Dragoons back here to defend, and that means that Leta should be able to get a third base up pretty easily.
No problem whatsoever. Like, Rain is in no position to attack as of yet. He's trying to... I feel like right now what he's doing is just trying to play a safe game and get to higher supplies so he can maybe use his strong, you know, unit movements and counterattack potential, things like this. But look, like you said, there's nothing here. And another Vulture drop doing some serious damage.
Okay.
Every probe right now is really, really important.
I mean, this is the game that Leta dreamed for. Happening right here in front of us. I mean, let's also point out as well, honestly, this was initially, for the first, like, 5% of this game, this was a disaster for Leta. The fact that he's continuing to do damage and we're going into a third base here, Rain just now taking a fourth, Leta in a supply lead. Leta with the upgrades, almost all the upgrades he needs to possibly flex his muscle on the map. I mean, I'm loving this right now for him.
Oh, God, he never started the second
army. No.
Now, let's
there it is.
Okay, but that is not lined up with the first one. Let's just hope the first army, for Leta's sake, was attack and not armor. Sometimes people will start armor because their science facility won't be synced up perfectly.
Right.
If you have 1-1, that's not that impressive. 2-0 is much better than 1-1 against Protoss.
Right.
So if he did that, it's not as big of a deal. Regardless, when he actually hits this upgrade, that's going to be a time that we might see him move out. He doesn't necessarily need to wait for a max.
By the way, dropship coming through now. Again, more Vultures. You might want to try to start walling in. Like I said, if you try to completely wall in his main with pylons, then they can actually drop Vultures behind the minerals, and that's bad too. Never mind. Anyways, the amount of damage that's been done here is really impressive.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like he's finished yet. He can actually...
Oh my God, he dropped like a Vulture in every base.
Yeah, so sick.
Oh, and he has to send...
Is that a full wall in?
It's tight against Goons.
Okay, but I guess he can still slip through here.
Yeah.
We'll never know because the mini-map covers that, so does the graphic.
Yeah.
We see him get through, should we know?
Okay, it was +2 attack, so that's actually really an important aspect of this game.
Dude, Leta could actually close this one out.
Yeah, he's got 7 facts. This is really not bad. I mean, I feel like Leta's attack timing is coming. It can be a little bit difficult to choose your exact moment of attack.
I think he's waiting for that armor upgrade.
The armor upgrade is so late.
I don't think
it might actually line up with max. It might line up with max supply, so maybe that's a situation that he wants. When you do end up maxing out and you have 2-1, your army is going to be better than Rain's for the most part. But
by the way, one of the modern ways Protoss is trying to combat this is actually getting Storm. So you have enough to where when the army's actually moving at you, you can try to blanket that area with Psy Storms.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times you need a shuttle with the Templars because Vultures can so easily snipe down the Templars.
Yeah.
Even if you have tons of Dragoons, Vultures actually fire. Vultures fire faster than Dragoons do, so they'll end up assassinating the Templar pretty much every time.
All right, I want to ask you a question here. Do you think that he has gotten stasis or recall?
That's a good question. I actually don't know.
I think he's going to have gone, because he's going Psy Storm as well, I think he will have gone for recall here.
I guess that would make sense. If you can recall a big enough chunk of your army, Psystorm can a lot of times, if Terran panics and tries to do some kind of base trade situation, you can storm them at least.
Yeah,
and that'll really slow down the progression.
If they get sloppy attacking uphill here, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, you need a lot of ultras buffering for your siege tanks. Obviously, it's great to storm the siege tanks, but a lot of times with a composition like this, you'll see those vultures get smashed, and then you just clean everything else up. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a recall here could be really nice. Like, don't use it yet, obviously, but even a small one, since Rain is now maxed out and has that Psystorm, his army's fighting power is more than it normally would be in this situation.
Okay, so when... hold on, is Rain actually... I was about to say, I didn't think he was going to go for it. One of the worst things you can ever see is the Protoss just try to attack it in moments like this. Unless the Protoss was playing so well and the Protoss was so ahead.
Or if the Protoss was just Gateway Man and had no other plan.
Yeah, Gateway Man style where you don't even have to attack. You're just like, I don't know!
Yeah.
Just throw them all in there.
I don't know!
They just run in there. Because you don't know. You don't have observers. You don't have any tech. You don't have nothing. But
you described my ladder experience completely. So look, Leta looks pretty sure that this is a recall.
Yeah.
Potential comment. Now, Rain is taking every base.
Yeah.
Leta's actually over-turtling a little bit here. He got himself into a good spot. The thing is, it's really hard to read exactly where you're at in a game that's this harassment filled.
Well, especially from the start of the game, right? Yeah. Both players took... Oh, hold up. He's going to get some of these Templars. 2 Templars are sniped down.
That's so good. That was 3 high Templars with high energy.
Yeah.
That's like...
The question is, can he try to push through? Hold on. Oh, Probe's leaving. More Templars.
Get those high Templars! I want all the Protoss out in the round of 8.
Yeah, he's going to snipe down every one of these. That one's a 72 energy. No way to actually keep that one alive. No way to even shoot a storm out. So now Leta's taking the 4th base. Now, I don't believe either player will be taking the center, but we might want to watch for that if measures become desperate.
That would be crazy.
Because, in theory, neither side can really hold the center. Maybe like definitely in a PvP, that'd be more of a factor, is who gets the center. But let's watch for it anyways. Because from here on out, pretty much every realistic expansion that can be taken has been taken.
Yeah.
And also, we see that Rain is setting up to possibly switch into carriers.
I think it's a really good idea. Okay, he does eventually do this recall, but Leta expected it quite a bit. This is good micro, though, by Rain. He sends up just a couple Zealots between mines, so the rest can get in. Leta's not going to take a lot of damage here.
A lot of Terrans used to die just to this straight up until Terrans got really smart and started laying mines everywhere, because with the minefield there, you can see that really that was not a favorable trade there for Rain at all.
Now, yeah, that first trade was not favorable. You're 100% correct. That was a pretty bad one. But it's kind of this interesting thing as well, where once you do a single recall, oh my God, he's going for nukes.
Oh my God. I almost didn't recognize. I'm like, that's a funny looking comp stat.
God.
I didn't even know what that looked like in Remastered until now, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah.
I think I made nukes 1 game so far. I looked at my ladder count over 2,000 played.
Let's go big picture here, guys. Nobody
this is
ever
not real.
Nobody ever does this ever. And I know there's like that one guy who's watching who's like, I knew it, Ghost for the answer in this matchup. They're not. But now, I don't think that Rain is going to be ready for this.
No, you could never be ready for this because it's not real. This is not a thing anyone does ever. The last time I saw this, I think, was Slayer's Boxer, literally. For a nuke. Now, he might be doing this to nuke a cannon base. That is my best bet here, because it is so annoying to clear cannon bases.
Okay, nice job there. Wasted the EMP on the hallucinated Arbiter.
Yeah, you cannot tell something's hallucination except by the amount of damage it takes.
Right, and here we go, and he's going to recall right on that.
The nuke silo. Rain sees that he is getting goofed upon. Save that nuke silo! He's going to save it. He's going to save it. Thank God.
All right. So is the nuke finished then?
I think it is, unless he canceled it. Because
we get to see it get fired out?
If the observer's good. You can see the nuke get fired out in StarCraft 1, if that's the question, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, have you seen what it looks like, though?
I have not seen
it. Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Dude.
This is crazy.
I
By the
can't
way,
believe he's trying to go nukes.
I love the double cybernetics core at that third base location because a lot of Terrans will be scanning the main base cybernetics core to look for air upgrades to see if that telegraphs the carriers.
It's such an important thing that you say there. That is literally the thing you do late game as Terran is scan cybernetics core specifically. If you ever see it spinning, you start making Goliaths. It doesn't even matter. But yeah, to hide double cybernetics core makes it so tricky because that bottom left base is literally the least mattering base on the map. He knows he'll never kill it. He won't even attack it because it's so far in deep in Protoss territory. It's more about denying the other bases.
Right. Now there's an attack coming in over here. He does keep that Arbiter alive, very low, about 31 HP there. This is forcing Command Center to lift off.
You better land that back in the nuke
Yeah,
silo.
man, get that back on the nuke silo ASAP, please.
Did Leta think he had the game won, or is this actually something he thinks
Yeah,
could
well,
be
this
legit?
is why I'm a little bit caught off guard. Is like this is really important, and you know, we're still in game 1 here, and I'm just so shocked to see Ghosts used there. Now he can keep Ghosts out here, and maybe try to lock down an Arbiter, but you can still get the recall off, right? If
Lockdown is better than EMP actually.
but you can still have the recall spell cast as long as the mana energy has left the Arbiter. Even
I'm
if
not
the,
sure
even if
of
the
that.
lockdown connects, I think the recall still works. I'm not totally sure, guys.
That sounds right to me, but I'm not 100% sure on it.
I might be wrong as well. We just don't see Ghosts.
The place
at
he
all.
has that standing, though, that's to nuke the cannons at the bottom right. Maybe he wants to nuke the cannons and drop vultures in or something like that.
Yeah, that would make sense. Well, there's no way for Terran to get there otherwise, right? So
yeah, it's pretty difficult.
maybe this is just a very intelligent move based off the way this map is shaped. Now, earlier on, we did see Leta scan and see the carriers. So,
oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, he knows where
That's
the carriers,
important.
which is why the carrier's been pulled out. Granted, Protoss might have wanted to bring him out anyways, but he at least knows the carriers are a threat. And so turrets are being blanketed over here at the 12 o'clock spot.
And Leta actually has such good upgrades. He can fight against these carriers, even though there's a lot of them. Look at that. The forward cannon's so smart.
Wow.
So that, I think, is going to kill 3 cannons, maybe.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, nukes in StarCraft 1 cost 8 supply and 200 gas, 200 mineral.
All right, here we go. Yes.
So yeah, I killed 2 in damage one, so that was not
Whoa!
worthwhile.
That stasis is so good up there.
Ooh, yeah,
That
brought
is-
some tanks in.
Yeah, got a lot of tanks. Wow. Okay, well, I think this is close to the end of the game here. I think Terran is economically going to have no more options left here. I mean, the air fight is being won here by the Protoss.
He's not even microing here until just now. He's setting up to kill other bases, which is nice. I mean, I'm sure he'll get lockdown since he has Ghost Tech. There's no reason for him not to try it.
Sure, yeah. And kind of a weird game here because we have a lot of locations being hit, right? 6 o'clock is being hit. The bottom right is being hit. However, it seems like with the carriers available, there's too many tools here for Protoss. I mean, these other bases at the bottom, eventually Rain will be able to reclaim them, I think.
If Leta could actually just micro for a moment on this main army, I know he's killing these other bases, so it's making it hard, but he needs to get his tanks out of there, and he needs to stop chasing carriers for carrier hits. He has to start picking off, interceptors, because he's killing all the other bases. So in a game like this, you must go to a war of attrition, because your economy's gone. You cannot be diving on carriers. That's cost inefficient for Goliaths in a situation like this. So if he would stop throwing the Goliaths and tanks away underneath the carriers, then suddenly we're in a game where maybe Leto can win this.
I love this command center over here. It's too bad that Zealot spotted it. I think there's still a shot here for Leta. Leta needs to spend his minerals and gas, by the way. He has a lot banked up. Rain does need to reclaim a base, though. This is very important.
Gosh,
because he's about to mine out at both his natural and his third base, which means he has no money.
Now this is getting pretty funny. This is probably the hardest thing to micro in the whole world.
Yeah.
Is trying to hit lockdowns on things quickly because there's no smart cast, right? So you have to individually select each one. Normally you'll try to clone them out.
Yeah.
But Rain knows about that. So if your carriers get scanned a couple times, you know it's coming. You start running them away. So it's just incredibly hard to actually hit lockdowns. Now, if anyone could do this, they would do it all the time against carriers, and carriers probably wouldn't be used anymore because a Ghost is 25 minerals, 75 gas. So obviously a lockdown on a carrier that makes it immobile for a long time is amazing. It's just, can he hit these? If he hits him, he'll win.
One theme here for Protoss as well is that they want carriers and the ground army.
Yeah.
And the hope is that you win either with the fight from the ground or the fight with the air, because there's some sort of imbalance as far as composition goes here for Terran. Now, I just want to point out, the bottom base has been reclaimed. The top center base has been reclaimed.
Yeah.
This was a real slugfest for a little bit, but as you know, both players have backed off from each other. It seems like they're regaining control of the points they had before everything got a little crazy.
All right, well, he spots where the entire Protoss army is, so he's going to start moving out with his army a little bit. He has a set of units trapped at the top left, so that's kind of a useful move with that minefield. Ooh, those high numbers actually not doing as well as I think he wanted them to.
Yeah. Where are those ghosts at now?
I think that they're still in his natural. Oh man, that's unfortunate. Leta was looking elsewhere.
Big lost opportunity there for Leta to kill some more Templars.
That's a great move by Leta, though. Moves like that where you know a little group of units is stuck somewhere. You see just 2 tanks, has a minefield in front. Those 8 goons can't come out of there. The tanks will murder them. So, very nice move. Very efficient by Leta. He's got to be very careful here, though.
Is he just going to go for it here?
I mean, that's some good EMPs we just
Yeah,
saw.
I mean, he completely wiped out that Archon.
What is this? Is that Ghosts?
I must be, dude.
Oh my God,
4
Jesus!
ghosts.
I have so much stress right now.
I know, this is crazy. I really want him to pull this off. Oh my God.
You see, he saw like, yeah, he's just pulling back. Oh, Leta, you're so handsome for trying this.
Well, he can still scan and get rid of these observers. Observers are not that fast, you know? I mean, I can't imagine there's that many observers on the map here. All right, here we go. Make me proud, Leta.
Please. Pick off those observers. That's actually a really good move.
Okay.
Oh, siege your tanks!
Here we go!
Siege your tanks!
He got one of them. That means he wins KSL, right? Those are the rules.
Should be.
Okay. Well, he's going to be able to actually take out one of these carriers now. Actually, I guess the Goliath number is pretty low, isn't it?
Yeah. He doesn't have a very big standing army at this point. The actual engagements have been very sloppy. Leta's done a lot of good things this game, but his actual army isn't moving that well. He's not sieging that well. It's too bad. Like, I really want to see this ghost stuff work, but it seems like he doesn't have much left.
Well, the funny thing is, even Rain, Rain knows exactly what to do in this situation because he's got everything mapped out Protoss-wise. And I mean, it was really impressive. Unfortunately, the mass lockdown didn't work, and he needed that for the Goliaths to kill the carriers. If the Goliaths had killed all the carriers, then frankly, I think that Leta would have won this game.
Oh, absolutely. All he needed to do was kill the carriers one time, but we saw a couple engagements where the carriers just ravaged everything, and Leta didn't quite pull back. He didn't quite fight them well enough. And, well, this is the thing. He has a certain skill set, and he used it brilliantly this game. His harassment was on point. He had some great micro moments. He had some very creative plays. But at the end of the day, we're moving around these big armies, and that's kind of where Rain wants to be against Leta. You see that he's just going to move them around a little bit better and take the correct fights in the correct positions where Leta's having a little bit harder time.
Okay, and now Rain can begin to come in here and start doing some real damage. Another ghost goes down. The carrier count is so high, and the small amount of ground units here actually become very, very handy. It's tough for it. Okay, we got another lockdown here. Unfortunately, the math is not going in Leta's favor.
Yeah, it's 100 mana too, so you can't just pop out a ghost and do a lockdown. You got to wait some time. He's lost like 10 ghosts this game. He's got almost nothing left. Half the supply of Rain, and this is just about the end.
Okay, another dropship goes down. This is also GG. He's actually standing in the rally point position, so
yeah.
I mean, it's really easy to get in there and do that damage.
Well, I tell you what, I guess Rain shows his resilience. I feel like maybe Leta was styling a little bit too hard with the ghosts, but I like that he made that game really good and really close.
That's such a high amount of gas you're invested into those ghosts. So, in case you guys are wondering, why don't people do that more often? A, it's really hard to pull off the lockdown. B, with that amount of gas, generally a Goliath or a tank is just better. You need to get vessels out. You don't have that much gas. But I applaud Leta for trying that. That was cool.
Well, I mean, he did get a nuke off that killed 2 cannons, so that was neat. But
yeah.
I don't know what we're going to see going forward. That was a pretty ballsy build, and I think that Rain is now going to catch on a little bit more to the speed at which Leta's playing, because when you're like bullying his wall, you don't see a command center being built in vision radius. So if he has a command center that's down near his other command center, that's not common.
Right.
You see very late siege mode. These things are all pointing towards a quick dropship. And Rain just continually wasn't defending against that. I think from now on he's going to pick up on these cues a bit more. This is such an off-brand strategy. No one plays like this anymore. It's
play
so
on
old.
one base is probably...
It's 100 years old.
It's like one of the oldest builds that Terrans were using.
That was my great-grandfather's build.
Originally, like Slayer's Boxer and players like that, they would come inside your main, and this is really when drops, even if you're on one base, people were just kind of not used to dealing with it, right?
Yeah.
And the whole concept of having, whether it was vultures or tanks in siege mode targeting your workers, it could just do so much damage. But eventually, players learn how to just defend it.
Well,
and
if you just sit at
then
home.
you kill the drop ship and whatever's inside of it, and you say, thank you, and you win the game.
Yeah.
But really ballsy of Leta to pull that out in game one.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can keep doing it in the best of 5.
No.
I think Rain has taken a huge amount of information off of a game he already won, by the way.
Yes.
So Rain, the momentum is real, guys.
It's
Leta has fallen back onto one of our most played maps in StarCraft. It's Fighting Spirit.
Okay, at least here he has a ramp, so that early game shenanigans from, the way he was having a hard time defending Rain's pressure, it's not going to look like that again, right? But you can be very dangerous here, okay? If you do a 2-fact, obviously you can do something like a proxy racks, that's kind of coin flippy, but
right.
you can do something like a 2-fact, absolutely. You can hit like a 4 or 5-fact timing. There's a lot of very aggressive builds he can go for.
Okay, we're moments away from jumping into Game 2. Again, guys, this is a best of 5. A fight to get to the Final Four. Leta, an unusual player to see in the top 8 of a StarCraft Brood War tournament, especially here in 2018. But he's done it. Let's see if he can start to turn this series around as Game 2 is now ready. This is Rain versus Leta. Okay, so we have our players in cross spots. Rain in the bottom left and Leta in the top right. And that's actually something we need to talk about a little bit here, because if you're in cross spots, sometimes a Terran can get to 4 bases.
Yeah, no, I mean,
like more easily than if you're just sharing a side.
It really matters how the game develops for sure, but
Yeah.
I know that Leta ended up getting a lot of bases in that last game, but I think that that's not his necessary aim. I don't think we're going to see any quick thirds, I guess is the way I should word it specifically. We should expect decisive plays out of Leta here on 1 or 2 bases. And what will that be in this game? That's going to be up to Rain to figure it out.
Yeah, that was Leta with his wraiths flying over.
Yeah. Devil Raid.
Devil Wraiths. I'm hoping this is not a 3-0, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I really came in expecting it to be, and after game 1, I was pleasantly surprised because it felt like Leta could win that game, and then the fact that he did not end up winning, I'm like, uh-oh, I'm back to thinking this might be a 3-0 again.
Yeah.
I want to see Leta really perform, and I think he did a good job, but yeah, it's tough stuff.
The thing about Leta is he's always tried to play around standard play.
Ooh.
Damn. I want to go steal that.
Star League Collection. I don't know exactly what that is, but
Yeah.
I want to buy it. So if anyone watching could tell me what that is, like
Yeah.
tweet at me, let me know, because I must own that, whatever that is.
So we've got the gateway finishing up here. Cora's going to come up next. We still don't really know what kind of game Rain is going to try to play here this time around. He did do a very conservative passive style in game 1. Again, no right or wrong there. And we also don't know what Leta's doing yet. We need to watch a little bit longer and see how much more gas is going to get mined out of the refinery. Is it going to be a 2-factory play? I feel like Leta will have to have a 2-factory play somewhere in here if he's going to win this best of 5.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just so strong. It's such a great way to just knock the Protoss out of whatever macro game they were going to try to bring here.
Yeah.
He does once again only made 1 Marine. The probe is going to, he's not going to get inside the base.
Well, he sees that it's a Marine. I guess he sees that the position of his opponent. The fact that Rain scouted cross map tells us that he probably has a build prepared for this situation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I feel like he would have dived inside to check the amount of SCVs on gas. The longer you can stay alive and check that out, the more information you're gaining. Because, of course, you can wait till you push the probe out and start mining gas again, but it really sets the build back a little bit.
Yeah.
But he did put another SCV on gas, so it kind of feels like it's going to be a 2-factory play here, or at least like an FD-ish Terran.
Yeah. We also saw Protoss only had 1 probe in gas. So he's going to be trying to get a Nexus pretty quickly over here. There it is again.
It's so fun.
Oh, boy.
All right. I mean, twice in a row. We'll see.
Well, now he's doing literally the exact same build twice in a row. Oh,
Yeah.
until he made the bunker.
Definitely a good idea to make that bunker. This looks very standard, though. When he runs the Vulture out and he has the quick bunker,
Yeah.
that actually looks normal. Don't
It
you
also- it
dare
also-
make a second port. Don't you dare!
No.
Don't play with me like this, Leta.
Oh, he's...
Oh,
Okay, whoa.
Okay, you had a bad rally from the original SCV that made the
Yeah,
port.
yeah.
Ooh.
I was like, well...
If he went 2-port Wraith,
he's just going to make Wraiths and lose them to Dragoons, Artosis.
that would have been amazing, though, to see
Yeah.
what he would try with that. Scans and kills the observers. I'm like, yes! Yes!
Well, it's funny, too, because even if he scans and kills the observers, it takes the Wraiths long enough to kill the probes anyways on the ground. They don't die that fast.
Screw that, man. He puts down
Yeah.
a second port. I go up and put Rain in a headlock. I'll help you, Leta. Let's do it. Yeah, so Rain adding the quick second gateway.
Yeah, he's still thinking there could be a rush coming in here.
Absolutely, yeah.
But there's not.
This type of play is going to be giving him higher chances against heavy factory play. But, of course, the flip side of that, right, is slower observer and things like that. So, got to consider that when we see probably a Vulture drop coming up. Of course, still no command center for Leta. This is so dangerously late. But notice how Rain is not bullying forward. This is part of the reason why Leta's harassment worked on Heartbreak Ridge.
Yeah.
Is because he had nothing at the wall, and the goons were like, wow, we're getting sick damage done. But if you see a bunker and stuff, you're like, oh, well, I mean, I can't really do much. So you're more likely to keep your goons at home, which means the dropship is much less likely to do as much damage.
Okay, so is it just 2 Vultures? I don't think you loaded any more up in the main.
Probably just 2. Maybe there's a third or yeah, I think it's just 2 though.
So he can still one-shot workers. It seems, though, like the timing here for Rain is probably mastered looking at the clock in Remastered, saying, okay, at this moment, 5:30 is exactly when the dropship can come inside and start to hit me in a game like this. And so he's moved up.
Certainly in
And
position.
here it is. Oop.
Yeah, this is not going to do anywhere near the previous game's damage.
Yeah. Well, that means both Vultures go down. The probes can go back to mining. And all of that... Oh my god, the probe actually scouts and sees that there is a command center starting. So right now, Rain knows he's got a massive lead.
Yeah.
And Leta's technique that he used in Game 1 and has implemented again here in Game 2 has not gotten him the benefits this time around.
Yeah, and
I mean, this is pretty bad, actually.
this is like the situation that Rain's in. Look at the full wall and everything, or close to full wall, so that
Yeah.
Vultures can't run in, and then he just spreads goons. I feel like very shortly we'll see Rain take a third, and he's just not going to look back this game. He's just going to sit around defensively. If your opponent went 1 base dropship with Vulture speed and a bunker at the front, and then just started his command center afterwards, there is no way for Leta to do damage other than running by Vultures and drops. So all that Rain has to do is sit at home with goons, make more bases, and just macro. And it's like you're gonna be on like 5 or 6 bases against 3 with a 4th trying to go. It's just like this situation tasteless. I have little hope.
Yeah. And now we're seeing the robotics support bay get incorporated in here as the 3rd base is being taken. So we're seeing the more modern style here of just using Reavers, and really trying to lean on the other player. And I don't think there's just a lot that Leta can do as far as growth goes. Already, Rain is in such a better position in this game than he was in the previous game.
You're so right about that.
And he's going to be able to dominate so heavily. So here we see the 2 additional factories being added in to total that up to 3. And that's all happening as the third base is being taken, as the Reaver should be popping out any second now.
Yeah. And, you know, I would like to see from Rain probably going directly into Arbiter Tech from here.
Yeah.
I think that would just put him in an even better position because it looks like Leta's going for that kind of 2-1 play, right? Going up to the 3 facts, so make sure he's sturdy considering how late, you know, any additional factors are. He's just kind of low in units. I'm sure he'll be making his third command center, but if you just kind of tech up normally from Rain, keep some pressure on your opponent, I guess, with the Reaver, keep your probe count up, I mean, it's... I feel like a broken record saying what a difficult position this is for Terran.
Well, I mean, this is why it's generally ill-advised to make this a routine build.
Yes.
You know, I think it's good to have it maybe once in a best of 5 because you can throw it out and people go, oh my God.
Absolutely.
Okay. I mean, even Rain was, you know, having a hard time getting back on his feet here, but this time around, Rain is bulletproof. He has totally immunized his base to anything harass-wise that Leta's going to throw at him.
Yeah, even the cannons going down, I love it. It's amazing.
Look at that. He keeps the shuttle over here in the main. He never moved out with it.
Oh, he's going double shuttle.
Okay.
Do you think he'll just try to bust?
You know, he might. This is something I think you and I are together still kind of trying to get the hang of because it's so new to us. This was just not a thing people were really doing back when we were both competing. But it seems like, yes, people just get enough shuttles. And if you're ahead, even though our original StarCraft theory would say that you cannot possibly try to break the Terran, you should try to outgrow, it looks like pros have just kind of mapped this out to the point where they say, no, you're going to have to take a third, you're going to have to move, you're going to have to use siege mode, and I'm going to kill you. And we've even seen games where they just drop the shuttles right on the natural. They don't even care.
Yeah.
And
I tell you, I don't know how much I like it. I mean, it definitely had its place and still does have a little bit of a place, but in a game like this, like we have a bunker, we have Goliath. I don't know. Well, I guess he's going to clear this real quick.
yeah, well, there's 2 shuttles here. He's got the Reaver, so he can actually do these targeted shots. Yeah, I mean, I think it just works. Look, you can come up here. This is the remainder of what's up here on the high ground. A Reaver's going to get some great shots off in this position. And from here, the Dragoons and the Zealots are just going to clean house, right?
This is the type of game I think as a player you really kick yourself over.
Yeah.
Because if he had a big army in his main, he wasn't expecting this at all. If he had been siege in position defensively, if he had everything in position defensively, like this would have gotten wrecked. You know, he had like 3-4 range Goliaths. He had a bunch of tanks with +1. You could have had him set up on high ground and stuff, and Goliath standing in good spots if you thought this was coming, but instead he loses, like, it's such an expensive army.
And not to mention, he's lost, his tank count has been reset. Now, you got to remember, guys, the tanks only come out of the factory with the add-ons, so we can only get 1 tank at a time here. Now, Dragoons and Zealots, just due to the nature of the way that Protoss produces, yeah, they just come out of gateways. You don't need any add-ons. You can mix them up and rotate them in and out. And I think between the Dragoons and the Zealots coming out here and the fact that he can keep remaking Reavers, I think the next attack, if Rain opts to do it, is going to completely and totally pummel Leta here. I mean, when you lose all those tanks, man, that's when the Protoss can have breathe a big sigh of relief. Okay, he's lost all his tanks. Let's go back. He has no real opportunities to win until he can get that tank count back up.
Yeah, and as far as like normal timings go, normally your command center is starting around the same time as their Nexus, right? Right around then, which of course wasn't the case. He was already mining before the command center started. And then also, as far as third base, like normally the latest your third command center will get started is around when their Nexus is finishing. That would be the latest time.
Right.
But of course here, it's like Rain has been mining from a third forever. So, like, Leta is... Again, I'm a broken record. I'm like, I don't know, man. What am I supposed to say that he's supposed to do here?
Yeah, well,
he's dropped like 4 times. He's killed like 4 probes, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is kind of the brutality of when those risks don't pay off early on. And you know what? I'm a little bit more worried about Artosis. No matter which way this game goes, I'm worried Leta's going to get a starport on 1 base again.
Oh gosh, in game 3?
You know?
No, there's no way. He's going to proxy Paris.
Yep. Now here's where we see, yeah, well, that would be the other alternative approach. Not something standard. Now, we also see the shuttle play used a lot. Oh my God! We see the shuttle play used a lot here to try to break positions like this, right? Where the Terran is going to try to chunk up the high ground so that Protoss can't get up there, and the only way to get in there is the shuttles. This is really where you're seeing the Terran get checkmated. The Terran is in timeout, guys. He cannot expand. He is stuck on 2 bases. All this, again, leading back to the gamble of the starport play.
Tell you, this game right now, what we just saw, like the way he rolled up that ramp and killed everything, it looks like B rank versus S rank. You know, like
yeah,
a
really
B rank
does.
Protoss against an S rank Terran.
It took me a minute.
Yeah, it's like Leta's just getting rolled at every turn. He's trying to keep on some pressure and everything, get some harassment done. It's not real pressure, I mean harassment. But Rain's sitting here on his 4 bases. He's doing what he wants.
And this is really where I think it's actually fair to say, even though there's some great comeback mechanics in Brood War, there's really no way that if 2 players of roughly the same skill, that you come back from this.
No,
It's too brutal.
The type of situation which Rain would lose this is when he's like not even looking. He's like talking on the phone.
Yeah.
Running all his units in like 4 times.
His monitor becomes unplugged. He's got to go downstairs and get his brother's monitor and plug that in. The game's going on live. So it's not pretty, but there's a chance that Rain simply runs over Leta here because Rain got that economic advantage here, and there's just too much coming out. And we're seeing that as this wave of blue topples over the defenses of our red player, Leta, and that's going to be a 2-0.
Yeah, this shows exactly what we were talking about with game 1 about why drop play off 1 base is not in the standard, because if you sit at home, the Terran's just like, oh, that's too bad.
Right, yeah.
Everything's so late now. What am I supposed to do? It's like, well, not a lot, Leta. Sorry.
Okay, so Leta needs to come back 3-0 against the current best Protoss in StarCraft.
Yeah, that's a tall order, isn't it?
Yeah. When we're going to go to that game 3 in just a little bit. So stick around. We'll be right back here at the KSL.
우리는 고대의 예언을 믿지 않았다. 어리석게도 해묵은 증오심에 사로잡혀 오랜 세월 끝없이 싸웠다. 그러나 하늘에서 불의 비가 쏟아지던 날 새로운 적이 눈앞에 나타났다. 이제 우리는 파멸의 끄트머리에 내몰렸고 어느새 혼돈의 지배가 시작되고 있다.
자, 경기 시작됐고요. 어떠한 사람도 처음에는 32강도 넘어가고 그 다음에 16강 넘어가고 그 과정이라는 게 있잖아요. 절차, 순서.
네.
한두열 선수, 자 여기 또 한 번 내가 넘어가야 될 고비가 있습니다.
네. 근데 가끔씩 그 절차를 무시하는 친구들이 나타나죠.
예, 그걸
예전에
보고,
뭐 로열 로더,
예,
이윤열 같은
혜성같이 등장한 뭐 이렇게
네,
얘기하죠.
갑자기 등장해서 각 때려잡고 우승까지 가는.
바이오닉의 움직임에만 좀 맞춰가면서 결국은 이제 테크적인 부분으로 승부를 보겠다.
자 한번
야,
잡아먹기
이거
좋아요.
좋아요.
한두열.
자, 요거
한두열
좋습니다.
선수가 이걸로 우승한 거예요. 뮤탈리스크 하나만으로.
그렇죠.
네,
오, 좋아요.
러시아에서
야.
있을 때 결승 상대가 이영환이었습니다. 저구전을 잘한다는 거는 곧 뮤탈리스크를 잘 쓴다는 거고요.
와.
한두열 선수 지금 드론 뽑을 타이밍 벌었어요.
벌었죠.
지금부터는 네, 뮤탈리스크가 아니라 드론 하면서 3가스에 드론
오,
보충하고 하이브 가서 뮤탈 가디언 한 방 나와요.
기다렸다는 듯이 드론이
네.
저희
네.
나옵니다.
뮤탈 가디언 한 방 나옵니다 이거.
예.
애초에 한두열 선수가 지금 3베럭스 병력을 잡았기 때문에 진짜 극한의 어떤 수비 능력을 보여줘야 될 것 같고
이재호는 네, 일단 앞마당 한번 들어야 돼요. 이거 앞마당에서 막으려고
그렇죠.
이재호 맞고 앞마당 들고 본진에서 막아야 되는데 사실 본진에서 막아도 막는 게 아닌 게요.
자 발키리 세대 등장.
자 발키리가
아이고 아이고.
백샷.
백샷.
발키리랑 좀 많이 맞았는데 디바오라가 잘 버티잖아요.
수저가 금수저라서.
네, 금수저에 방어까지 되어 있어요.
자 발키리가 일단 다수 쌓이긴 했어요. 오, 자 뮤탈.
자 발키리 4대.
자
마린메딕은
이거-
무슨 일이 있어도 아껴야 돼요. 마린메딕.
아니 근데 한두열도 뮤탈 잃으면은 막힙니다 이거.
오버하면 안 되죠.
어차-
자.
한결도 지금
네, 좀 오히려 컨트롤을
해야 돼요.
이재호가 더 잘해주고 있습니다 지금까지는.
그리고 한결 선수가 디바오로만 조금 더 생산을 되는 게 디바오로가 금수전에 방어까지 되어 있는 디바오로라서 저거 발키리가 백날 때려봤자 안 죽어요.
예. 자 저 코프니 디바우로네요. 아래쪽 디바우로 3마리.
네, 이 정도면은 발키리 4기로 디바오로 4기랑 대화가 안 됩니다.
그렇죠.
마린메딕은
네.
최대한 아낀 상태에서 막아야 돼요.
자 클로킹 레이스까지 개발해주고 있는 것 같습니다. 스타포트 불 들어옵니다. 컨트롤 타워.
자 이제 어떻게든 막아야 되는 게 이재호인데.
자, 한두열 선수도 가디언으로 많이 잡아야죠. 두드려 맞지 말고. 네, 사거리 어차피 가디언이 더 길거든요. 그래서
왔어요.
가디언으로 마린메딕 강제로 죽이면서 디바오로로는 발키리. 그리고 마린메딕 죽는 순간 저글링으로 끝.
자 그리고 해철이 벽이 시작하고 있는 한두열 선수.
한두열도 아주 급한 게임을 하진 않으려고 하는 것
자
같은데.
하지만 스코어지가
지금 손발이 살짝 안 맞는데.
긴장하고 있는 것 같아요.
근데 가디언으로 지금 그냥 마린 강제로 찍어 죽여도 되거든요.
예.
어차피 발키리는 덤벼야 돼요. 어쩔
근데-
수 없이 덤벼야 돼요.
근데 한두열 입장에서도 사실 급하게 들어갈 필요도 없기는 해요. 지금 어차피 상대가 앞마당을 못 돌리고 있고 본인이 추가적으로 발키리 숫자만 조금씩 줄이는 플레이만 하더라도 계속해서 테라는 본진 안쪽에만 배치가 돼 있으니까.
그렇죠.
자,
네.
말씀하신 것처럼
한두열,
바이오닉 병력
이겁니다.
줄여주면서 들어갑니다.
네, 이거예요 한두열.
천천히 들어가는 거죠.
네, 한두열 기세 잡았습니다.
네, 자 이제 바이오닉 줄면은 저글링에 끝날
자,
수
이제는
있어요.
저글링 뮤탈리스가 전병력 다 달리기 시작하고 있는 한두열 선수 저글링 뛰어옵니다.
그리고 지금 엑시트 스포 많이 묻어 있어가지고
그렇죠.
그렇죠. 있잖아요. 뮤탈이 때리면 녹아요.
그렇죠.
발키리 그냥.
자 이거 발키리 다
사라져,
잡았고요.
발키리.
자 레이스
한두열이 잡을 것 같은데요.
두 번째 세트.
한두열이 잡았어요.
두 번째 세트 운영을 선택하면서 옛날 빌드죠.
네, 진짜 오래된 빌드예요.
언제
이것
쪽입니까?
또한 2007년도에서 10년 사이에 나왔을 겁니다. 네, 제가 코치하고 있을 때 이 빌드를 주력적으로 좀 밀었던 기억이 남아서
예.
And we're back. Time for game 3. I'm praying this is not a 3-0, but I don't know. I don't know what Leta's plan is. I think this is like the Benjamin Button of Terran play. Is what I'm worried we're going to have here.
Ooh.
He started out looking good with the drops.
Yeah.
Then he did the drops again, and it looked a lot worse. And I'm worried this time around it'll either be the same thing, only even way worse, or another strategy which Rain will shut down.
It cannot be Starport
Yeah.
again. 0% chance it's Starport. It's something else. So what is that something else? Is
Proxy.
it Proxy Barracks?
I think so.
Okay, it could be.
Wait. Do we know what map
Two-fact
was
could be it.
chosen?
No, we don't know yet, but it doesn't even matter because you
Just do
can't
it.
go Starport again. You absolutely
No,
cannot.
you cannot.
Um,
Maybe two-fact, maybe
could be a two-fact.
proxy.
It seems like Leta doesn't like to make command
I don't
centers
think he
at
would do
early
any like
times.
medic marine shenanigans. I just don't think it's going to work against Rain.
I mean, you could do it like expand into Marine Medic.
I don't think he's going to do standard, guys.
Oh, he's not.
I just don't think
he's not
so.
gonna play
It's
standard
Leta.
macro. Like when Flash plays standard macro, Rain can beat him. So it's just not something that is doable for Leta.
It's not a desirable
a super
move.
greedy build. I mean, he could try something like that, but I don't think he will because like
I'm
there's
worried that,
nothing
that
greedy
Rain
enough.
has too many tools at his disposal to just take that out. You know, some of these Protosses, if the Terran deviates at all early on, they really know how to outmaneuver them. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Don't forget, by the way, we have a Terran versus Terran coming up next, and
that one's
should
going to be really close.
very
I think.
close. Yeah, for sure.
Those guys are both quite strong at TVT, so I'm excited about it.
It is cool to have Leta having gotten this far here, and it's going to be In the Way of an Eddy, the map name that just rolls right off the tongue.
Okay, I mean, this one is kind of interesting. Like, there's islands that you can take if you do go for dropships.
But you could go for shuttles as well.
Yes, it's quite true. You can, in fact, go for shuttles if you're the Protoss player.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's got their reverse ramp and stuff. I wonder what Leta's plan is. The center is not buildable here. So if it is proxy barracks, it's like kind of very random where you're putting it, right? You're going to have to take Gamble or something like that, so I'm not sure that's what we'll see. Yeah, I'm not sure what Leta's plan will be for this map, but it was his map choice.
He's got to have some kind of trick, something. Some kind of ace up his sleeve.
He's not trying to win, you know? He's trying to win.
Some kind of gamble in his wheelhouse.
He's definitely got some gamble in him, this guy.
Yeah. Which kind of gamble is it going to be? I don't know. Oh, looks like we're actually ready to go. All right, let's do this, guys. Game 3, Rain versus Leta. Okay, so we have both players hugging the left side of the map. It's Rain in the top and Leta in the bottom.
Okay. Definitely not one phase port. We know that already.
Artos is making his Kermit the Frog sounds.
I wish I had a Kermit the Frog impression here. Well, I mean, you can definitely do two-fact here. It's a little bit tricky though.
Ooh,
the Prima official strategy.
By the way, guys, you know Prima is like, I think they went out of business, right?
Well, they should have for how shitty all their guides were.
Yeah, man, they were reading their books.
What a
being like,
motley crew of gamers that was.
I'm like 13 years old. I'm like, I don't think these guys know how to play the game. But
no.
Yeah, man, that was a totally different time.
Yeah, no, it's funny that things
I always
like
had
that
mixed feelings when I go to a friend's house and see they had the strategy guide and be like, seriously?
Hey, if you're
like, are you not a serious gamer here? You know, come on.
Yeah, well.
All right. This went forever.
Go Leta. I agree.
Yeah, I want to see Leta win.
But
something here.
Yeah. Oh, Nexus first for Rain.
I guess Rain can kind of do whatever he wants.
Yeah, it's
also
kind of a long map too.
Yeah, and I mean you're not going to have the proxy racks in the middle of the map here, so.
Yes, it's quite true. It is unbuildable in the center, so you don't even have to worry about that. But at the same time, Leta's got good micro. So, for instance, if he scouts Rain first, he might be able to just kill him. It seems like Rain feels confident in himself, but if you just do the 4-Marine Vulture Rally, that is fantastically strong.
But we don't have any scouting yet here by the Terran.
Yeah, not yet. I mean, you have some leeway with when you scout. You can scout on 13, you can scout on 14. He's definitely scouting very late, though, at this point, as we're reaching 15 supply there. So.
Okay, let's also see if the SCV goes up or to the right, or maybe even checks cross spots first.
It takes at least one SCV off gas. Looks like he's taken 2 off gas. Okay, so, but that might just be momentary. Hey, and he's scouting north. This
actually might work.
Yeah.
Now, Leta has to execute it perfectly. Let's keep in mind a lot of the ideas Leta's had have been good, but sometimes the execution is wonky. I guess actually his early game execution was fine in game 1.
I think his micro's good. Like, I think that this is not even a hard kill. Like, you scout this first, he sees the Nexus. Oh yeah, he's gonna do it. He turned around. There you go.
More Keep making those Marines, buddy.
So, this build, it would have been good if he had already started the second Marine, because now his second Marine is a little bit late. But you want to... This has been really mapped out at this point. You go with 4 Marines and Vultures, and you can decide, like, some people like 2 Vultures, some like 3, but eventually you're going to get an add-on and go Mines and a tank behind it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you're going to bring like 8-ish SCVs, and all that stuff together, if you micro it well, will kill this.
Now, keep in mind, the one pylon that's put out here in the front, that is to try to draw some shots out. If you could eventually get it. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's like way more than 8, right?
Yeah, that's 10. But
That's
you know,
10.
he's playing against 2-gate. You can stand it. One of his Marines is late, which means
Oh,
he's a
he
Marine
should not
lower.
lose this SCV,
Oh,
though.
that's really bad.
Actually,
yeah.
every SCV is so important in this rush.
Yeah, and you actually want to be able to scout, block ramps, start a bunker. There's a lot of things. But the thing is, he can micro well enough here, I think.
Shield
this is
battery
doable.
coming up here.
It's doable. And look at this. Perfect position by Rain on the high ground here. Right as he switches vision.
Whoa,
oh,
whoa, whoa,
my
whoa.
God. And now he gets on the Marines. Oh, Leta is bungling this a bit, unfortunately. Oh, my God.
Just gamble turned into a
Oh,
bungle
my
bungle.
God. You can't be taking damage on your Marines.
Battery is up. Oh, my God. Yeah, he's losing. He's lost a Vulture. He's going to lose a second Marine.
Yeah, no, this is pretty much over.
Yeah. Oh. This really goes to show you how one player can be way better at control all around and just come out on top.
The thing is, Rain stood in the right position, but that's itself is entirely predictable. Like, that is where you want to stand, because that's when the vision switches from low ground to high ground.
Exactly. So
And
you
then
can actually get the hit
hits.
off at the same time or even before they hit you.
Yeah. And that's, like, Rain did it, and it was fantastic. If Leta had prepped for that, and he should have, I'm sure in his regular practice games and stuff, he's like, yeah, no, I moved slightly to the side, or I pay more attention at this moment. But yeah, at this point, you look at this, he pulled his SCVs, there was nowhere in the realm of enough damage done. So Leta is...
You have to keep in mind, guys, is that those SCVs that were pulled, they were not mining back at home.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you economically have given up just a huge amount. Oh, my God. And I don't think this Marine is even going to get inside here.
Tank's dead now. The game is over. Oh, 3-0 is complete.
All right, so this is the fatality move. GG. And Rain is going to be our first player to slide right into that Final Four spot.
Indeed, and it's expected. I mean, it's Rain, the best Protoss in the world, the only one in the round of 8. He goes on to the round of 4. And to be honest, I think he's favored to go to the finals right now. I feel like we're going to have a just completely badass finals with Rain against either Larva, Sulky, or Last. Whatever that is amazing. I'm getting chills thinking about it. But Rain looking beastly. Leta actually put out some... I thought Game 1 was really pretty cool what he was doing.
Yeah.
And Game 3, that was just poorly executed as he moved up the range. It was just one moment that he screwed up, but you screw up one moment and you're done.
In application, Rain is just a better player.
Yes.
Like, Leta had a lot of great ideas, and I think he actually prepped really well for Rain. I mean, the rush in Game 3 was the right idea. The execution was poor. The idea in Game 1 and the execution initially was actually great by Leta. He just wasn't able to close it out. So I look forward to seeing more games from Leta here. He is a very interesting player to cast.
I hope he makes it into ASL or KSL next year. I want to see more of him because he does play really, he marches the beat of his own drum, and that's an awesome thing to see. Just so off meta, so off brand as a Terran.
We're going to have a quick interview here and see how Rain is feeling now that he's the first player to get into the Final Four here. We also do, after a short commercial break, actually I guess it's not that short, it's probably one of the longer commercial breaks we have here in StarCraft. We have Mine versus Sharp.
That's going to be a great match, guys. I promise you, TVT is one of the best matchups in the world.
Hello guys, we're gonna have an interview with Rain, the winner just now. Congratulations, thank you. You are the first you go to the semifinals. How do you feel? You know, I feel indifferent right now. And a lot of the people anticipated my victory. So I felt I'm not too overly hyped right now. Well, you just said that a lot of the people did expect your victory. Was there pressure on you? I mean, I as a human, I do get pressured in these situations. but I try to keep the optimistic mind. You made the clean sweep today, 3-0. How do you feel? The first game, my brain froze, and I couldn't think properly. And yeah, the first game I was kind of dumbfounded, and things started to get out of hand. And then I felt like I was gonna lose the game, but then later made some trivial mistakes and gave me time to actually make a comeback. You mentioned that your brain froze. What was the reason for that? I think I woke up too early today. It's like time for me to sleep right now, so my sleep schedule is kind of ruined. So you're saying that you kind of like, warmed up your brain, warmed your fingers in the first game. You actually went for the rush in the 12 o'clock position. What was the reason for that? In Heartbreak Ridge, it was a viable option. It was a viable strategy, and I think that's the reason why I won the first game. I definitely outmaneuvered my opponent in that aspect. But the reason why he lost is because he gave me too much time. Now Leta's pride is a little bit scratched. And all the fans, they did expect that you would show some superb performance today. Rather than being showy, I really stick to my basics and I tried hard. Up next, you will be playing against either Mind or Sharp. Who do you want to play against? Both are Terran players. I think they're pretty similar. I don't really care who comes up. Are you saying that it's easier because they're Terran? No, not really. But last season, I played the best of 7 against the Zerg. So it's a Terran this time, and I think it's a great opportunity for me. I'm planning on beating the Terran and going to the finals. Last time you did advance to the round of 4, but you had to actually lose. Any last words? Today, in my perspective, the performance wasn't overly satisfactory, but I'll try my best in the Terran matchup. Thank you. And that is the end of the interview.
All right. I think Rain can go all the way, Artosis.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he did have that, what was in the previous KSL, he was not able to take on Jaedong, right? Jaedong ended up smashing him. Was that 3-0?
It was 4-0.
Yeah, excuse me, 4-0, because it was in the... So he's obviously very hungry to come out and redeem himself after that. Rain also winning an ASL not too long ago. So definitely one of the players you want to watch for. People get super hype about Flash, about Jaedong, about some of these other players. But Rain is really looking like the modern top-tier player that we have right now.
Absolutely.
So.
And, he already won an ASL, and this KSL could be his. I think he's one of 4 players as of the round of 8 that has a real shot to win the whole thing. So he moves on that round of 4, rightfully so, and looking forward to seeing his next match.
So we got a TVT coming up next.
Yes.
One that I think is going to go to Game 5. It should be long. It should be very close.
It's going to be awesome.
And I think this might be the hardest one to call out of our matches that we have here.
I think Larva Sulky is pretty tough, too.
Anyways, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, that best of 5. So do not go away. Stick around here with us at the KSL.